Hey, just because it's a budget microphone, does it have to have poor sound quality? Well, Tonor just sent me this for free. This is their TD510 dynamic broadcast microphone, and they want me to do an unbiased review. So these are going to be my thoughts and hopefully your opinions. So please share your comment. Now, this mic definitely has a budget price point, but is it worth it? Let's get into the box and see what's in the package, and then we'll do a sound test because, I mean, come on, that's what you're really here for, isn't it? To hear what it sounds like? As you can see, the mic doesn't come in a fancy box, but remember, this is a budget mic, right? Now, the instructions are clear and have big pictures. I like big pictures, so take a moment to read. Now, here's a plus. The mic comes with an XLR male to female cable. Remember though, if you're going to use these cables, you're going to need an additional input device. In my case, I'm using the Rodecaster Pro. And here we have a USB-C to USB cable for plug and play. Now, you gamers are gonna like that feature. My first visual impressions are that the mic looks and feels really solid with a premium metal shell that will give you a professional look in your studio. And I like the gold trim. Wow, this really feels heavy. Here are the connections. This is the USB-C, the XLR, and here's a headphone out jack. But be aware that you can only use the out jack in the USB mode. And here it comes ready to be attached to a mic stand or boom arm with a 5/8 thread. I kind of wish that this would rotate instead of having to rotate the entire mic to get it on the stand or the arm. But maybe they'll add that in the future. Now, I've seen in other reviews the mesh that covers the capsule is rough around the edge and that would catch the windscreen, but this mic doesn't seem to have that problem. And this windscreen is really thick. Here are some of the controls: a toggle on and off button. It also allows you to toggle between the mic and headset with these adjustments for gain, volume up and down. So this is what we've been waiting for. Let's listen to the Tonor TD510 and see what it sounds like. Is it worth the money? All right, this is what we've been waiting for, to see what the Tonor TD510 sounds like, and this is it. But I don't have any processing on it. It's running out of the XLR straight into my Rodecaster Pro with no processing, and this is what it sounds like. It sounds a little low, little bassy, little muddy almost in my earphones, but we'll have to see what that's going to sound like once we go ahead and edit it. Let's go ahead and listen to the plosives. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. I guess that's the way you say it. Peter Piper, and I'm actually just about, whatever that is, that far away from the mic. Let's test some of the sounds from the side. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Sounds like to me that it's doing what it's supposed to as a cardioid mic. That it is picking up directly in front, and I guess I don't need to be so close to it, otherwise I'm going to sound like this. That doesn't sound too good. So we'll keep this distance here. This is what it sounds like with no processing from the XLR going into my Rodecaster Pro. Let's go ahead and add some processing real quick and see if we can tell a difference. Okay, so now I've got a little processing going on through this microphone, through the XLR connection. Can you hear a difference? I really can't hear a lot of difference, except I've got a noise gate on it and some other things and some compression. What we need to do now is we need to go ahead and hook it up with the USB to USB and see what it sounds like. We're now plugged into the Tonor TD510 through the USB port, which is plugged directly into my computer. I've got an Apple Mac Mini M1. Okay, I don't know why that was so hard to get out, but anyway, before we get started, you're listening to it right now. Before we talk about it, I want to show you, here are the buttons that were not previously available because we were using the XLR, but because we are using the USB port, we now are able to control the mic here. Now this is okay, so now you can, and if I press hold it, it's going to move from the earphones to the microphone, kind of like that, and then we can control the volume here. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Let's go ahead and talk about this microphone. And I'm actually recording this in Audacity behind me. I don't know whether you can see that. When I was practicing with this earlier, I could tell that the microphone sounded a little dark, a little muddy. And what you're going to hear first is right out of the box, the sound of the microphone right out of the box without any processing. And this is what it sounds like. The cardioid design allows us to speak directly in front. I will tell you that it does pick up noises easily, so you want to be careful about that. And maybe a boom arm or something would be better, so when you're hitting your desk and you're talking, you're not going to get so much noise. All right, so this is what it sounds like, the USB. And now I'm going to add some processing. Here we go. Okay, now I've just added some processing in DaVinci Resolve, and from what I'm hearing as I edit this, it sounds brighter with the processing on. And maybe you can tell the difference. But can you tell the difference between the XLR, straight out of the box and processed, and can you tell the difference with the USB, no processing and processing? Well, let's wrap this up and summarize this. This is a good mic. What about the value? It's a budget mic, and personally, I think for the money, it's made pretty well. It's a hefty and I think well-built microphone. And of course, I like the gold trim on it. I think the sound is decent, and I think the sound will do. If you're looking for this type of mic and in this price point, I think you'll be happy with this mic. I don't think there's any really downside to this mic other than you do have to add some processing and you do have to work with it a little bit. But other than that, I think it sounds pretty good. And I think, like I said before, for the price, you got a pretty good mic here. So would I recommend this mic? Yes, I would. But then again, it all depends what your opinion is. So leave comments and let me know what you think of this mic. Tell me whether you would buy it, whether you have it, what your alternative would be. Anyway, thanks for watching. And I hope this kind of gave you an insight to this particular mic from Tonor, the TD510.